Okay, my name is David Alive. I've been involved with Coral Club for a little bit now, and my wife Belena and son Solomon also participating in it. And so I wanted to touch base on the business aspect of the business and show you guys exactly what you have to do step by step, business-wise, in order for your dreams and ideas to become a reality, okay? So a little bit about myself. I came to America about 30 years ago. I grew up here. I went to high school here, college here, got educated here. And I never worked for anyone except big corporations. I was a CEO of 2 companies, and I was a director of a Chinese factory involved in manufacturing LED lights, diodes, and so on. Currently, I own my own businesses, and we basically do manufacturing, distribution, and sales of lighting and design into Las Vegas. So a lot of the buildings, structures, what you guys are seeing, a lot of that is us and our efforts to try to beautify the world. And so I have a expression in my business. We always save the world because we do energy efficient lighting. We're saving the world 1 watt at a time. 1 watt at a time. In this business, we are saving the world by teaching people what is the overall concept of health and how to get there business-wise. So, first of all, one concept that I want everybody to understand is there's 3 things in your life that should have an ultimate balance. Before I get into exactly what we are going to discuss. And no matter where you are in your business is big, small, you're just starting, or you're just the first person being introduced to this, you should have 3 things in your life that have a balance. Those 3 things are your health, your spiritual health, and your economical health. If you have a balance in these 3, whether you are making $10 an hour or $1,000 an hour, you will be a happy person. And you will have your overall life, quality of your life, be very, very good, right? How many people we know who have this and don't have this or this? What's the point of you having money if you're going to be dead tomorrow? Right? Or you have this and this, but you don't believe in anything higher than yourself. Congratulations, you got up to the mountain and you are there by yourself. So what our business teaching is how to develop a beautiful sunshine in your life with all the beautiful people surrounding you. And so when you get up to the mountain, you have these 3 things in your family that matter the most. And you have a balance with people whom you like to be with. This concept is applicable to any business, especially we're living in capitalism. Okay, any questions on this? So most people, we have this, Robert Kiyosaki came up with this beautiful concept of our cash flow quadrant. So you either have a job or you are self-employed. Lawyers, doctors, holistic approach, you working for yourself. Here you have a job, somebody else tells you how much your time is worth. Here, you are working for yourself, and you trying to get to a bigger business where you now not only working for yourself, but you have a system with people, employees, and so on and so forth. Currently, me and my business are in this quadrant. Okay, but what happens is, I don't own the business owns me. Correct? I have to deal with payroll, distribution, manufacturing, all the steps that our company takes care of, so that all you have to do is just do one thing, and that's expose people to the concept of health. And of course, everybody wants to get to the investor status where you make your money work for you. Next slide, please. Our business allows us to get to this status if you wanted to, with also having those concepts still maintained. The tools of multi-level marketing business are very, very simple. You have to have clarity in what you're going to do. So it is imperative that you write yourself goals and make yourself plans. In my business, every day I have to do a to-do list, because it physically shows you what you have to do, and you can gladly scratch it off when it's done. Same thing in our business. You have to have a goal and you have to have a plan. If you guys want to get to any sort of volume quickly, you have to have a list of your customers, partners, and where you want to take them to. So first step is, everybody, we have no issues of contacts. A human within a day comes across about 250 new people in our daily life. So as you made your list of who you want to speak to in regards to this business, or expose them to the concept of health, and you go through that list fairly quickly, there is no shortage of people. There's 7 billion people in the world and growing. So we can always find new customers, new partners, and identify where they want to be at. There's usually a couple of questions you want to ask the new prospects, and offer conversation and a presentation where our company does it for you. All you have to do is learn how the system works. And it is very, very simple, just a few steps. Next slide. In setting your goals, you must maintain a challenge. If there is no end result, why even go there, right? So in my business, traditional business, I always operate backwards. And I know if I'm going against the grain, I'm doing something right. I've been in America for a long time, and I've always ran my own business. This is how you know if you are on the right path or not. So most people, as Helena was talking about, 95% of the people live their life carelessly until something happens, and then they want to deal with health, right? So we are definitely going against the grain, trying to find the other 5% who think a little bit differently, and educate the 95% to think properly. The goal must have a challenge. Make yourself whatever inspires you. After you reach your goal, we're going to go on vacation. When we reach our goal, we're going to Hawaii, right? That motivates you to go where you want to be. If you want to have something you never had, you have to be willing to do something you've never done. Have you guys heard of that expression before? Yes. The goal should be very clear and realistic. So we set short-term goal, long-term goals, and execute them.
Executive for 1 year.
Executive for 1 year. Just like going to college. People don't want to go to college forever. You want to go to school, get it over with, so that you can do what you want to do. Same thing here. So the goal has to be realistic. You don't want to stretch it out over a 5 or 10 year period. Lots of things can change. Your formulation of the intermediate goals, that in 3 months you want to be here, in 6 months you want to be here, that is a realistic goal. So it is absolutely realistic as you've heard here from Marina, Valena, and others, that you can have 6 directors in your business within a 6-month period. It just takes one person. You can add 3 branches to your structure within a very short period of time. And like I said, if you've exhausted your list, look for other avenues of prospecting. We always come across people. You have to have your plan of action, and you make your plan based on a day, month, quarter, and a year. And this way you have a clear focus of where you need to go and where you want to be at when. Next slide, please. Here's our ongoing goals that I just mentioned, short term and long term. If you don't have a daily goal and there's no focus and clarity in your day, you are like Moses roaming through the desert looking for something. It's gonna take a while. Next slide.
Like example, yeah.
Example. This is a very realistic example. It's completely achievable to have 1,000 PV with 1 director, 4 to 5 customers, and 2 to 3 partners. This can be achieved in a 30 to 60 day period. As we've seen here, it is completely doable, and people have done it over and over and over again, especially in the United States. How to do it? So here is your formula. Listen. If you contacted 2 to 3 contacts per day on a 30-day period, you have 50 to 60 contacts. It doesn't mean they're your customers yet, just person that you have contacted, expose them to the concept, and set the next appointment. Out of the 50 and 60, 20 to 30% is going to register. That is your 10 to 15 members. You just created customers. From 10 to 15 members, 8 will become sustainable customers, and 4 will maintain partners. And so, for example, customers' orders, as you've heard, the detox, the Go Detox, the Coral Detox, the H500, the Paraphites, and just that alone will give you about 70 PV, which between 10 to 15 members is your 1,000 points per month. It's not that difficult if you wrote it out and formulated a clean cut plan on what you want to do on a daily basis. Go ahead. So we make a couple calls, depending on how your time is. I run my own business. My son will tell you, Daddy works 8 days a week. I don't have any time, but I still find time to help the organization, to help my customers, my people. Even if it's not 30 minutes, even if it's less, you still put in the effort going forward. A couple of meetings per day, conversations, offer a consultation, and if you can't do it, we have coaches, we have upline that you can reach out to who would be more than happy to help. We have classes, home circles, online, Skype, social network, and correspondence. I am also one of the people who has to embrace the technology that Coral Club gives us as a back office, as a CRM, and all of the tools that they provide in order for us to expand our business. Analysis of your day and your month and your plan, and self-study. You have to learn the products, read a little bit of articles, and just educate yourself on a couple of minutes per day, depending on what time you have, in terms of what your knowledge of the product and the company should be. One month of work as a result of what I just spoke previously will be able to generate about $300 to $400 per month. Please raise your hands if $300 to $400 a month makes a difference.
Конечно, всегда.
So working with the customers consists of a couple of steps. Step number 1, get the person involved in the concept of health and do the member registration. Step number 2, identification of health, their goals, and customer support. And step number 3 is maintain that relationship and your follow-ups. Going a little bit deeper into it, first step, conversation. As Paulina was talking about, get to know your customer, get to know your member, get to know your partner, ask the questions, who, what, where, when, how, and why. That will tell you everything you need to know in regards to which direction you want to go with that client and what you want to recommend. If you don't know yourself, Coral Club has a great support structure. We have doctors and coaches scientists who can help answer any questions. 2 main diagnoses, as everybody keeps talking here, is dehydration and intoxication. So if we can remove those 2, you see the end result. Step 2 is identifying their goals and having a before, a progress, and an after with what they did and how they got there, so that the person knows and feels it themselves. You didn't just hold their hand through the whole process, but they also participated in the process. Next slide, please. Step 3, customer relations. Once you acquired a customer or a member, don't let them sink or swim on their own. You have to have a bi-weekly contact. Don't call them every day. I will tell you, I have no time for you, please stop calling, right? But a couple of times every other week just to follow up with them would be very, very helpful. Reminders about their program, what a company is offering, and how it's going to help their family is the key, because you are personally involved with their health and their process. Company has newsletters, news, promotions, new products, and seasonal programs. It's all available through our back office, and you can utilize it. Through the CRM tool, we all know when your guys' birthdays are, or personal information, so that I can reach out to my customers and wish them a happy birthday, and follow up with them for their holidays or individual events. And of course, for doing all that, the customer will gladly give you a referral and thank you for attention and care. So I like this business. It's not like traditional businesses where we are fighting for the volume and the revenue. In this business, the end result of your customer is going to move your business forward. And there you have satisfied customers. Want to talk about a little bit about who and what steals your time.
Yeah, because often we listen, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time.
Guys, to tell you a little bit about us, I have 2 businesses. My wife runs a school. We also have a public charity nonprofit organization to help the Las Vegas community. And we are very, very busy. We have to have the discipline of getting up in the morning. Nobody tells us what to do. We have to do that ourselves. There is no time for depression. There is no time for anything else except moving forward in a positive manner. And so when people tell me I don't have time, I don't believe them, because I am the busiest person I know.
It's reasonable.
People who will steal your time, I teach my kids this. There is a 5-second people, there is a 5-minute people, there is a 1-hour people. People who will steal your time, I will wave them in a distance. I don't have time for somebody to waste my time, correct? And most people feel the same way. So you have to identify who they are, and is it them or is it you? And it's such a critical question that I sometimes have to have a conversation with myself in the mirror to identify that, right? A realistic thing that steals the most time is telephone and TV. I'm also talking to myself, okay? Your friends who are supporting you are vested in your business. Your friends who are not supporting you are not vested in your business. So you make a decision where they need to be in your life. Lack of self-motivation and discipline is something that you can change on daily basis by doing all the previous steps we were talking about. Next slide, please. A street called tomorrow leads to a square called never. So if every day you have an excuse why you didn't do certain things, you will never get there. I use a similar expression, you have to cook the goose while it's in the oven. When it comes to the business and opportunities, there's no reason to say, I will tackle that tomorrow, I will speak with that person tomorrow, I will do this for myself tomorrow, when there's today.
I will do my health tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a lot more expensive being unhealthy than being healthy. Any questions? I sort of ran through them.
Нет, спасибо.